I'm Ben Madison. I teach at Regent University Law School in Virginia Beach, Virginia. I've been here since 2003 as a full-time law professor. I taught previously as an adjunct. The course really has evolved from my federal civil procedure class where, for instance, I thought to myself as I was learning more about teaching and finding ways to reach students, I would give them what I call Madison's Selected Illustrative Civil Procedure Pleadings, a book of 200 pages of pleadings, because I never saw a pleading in law school. I had no clue what a pleading was. I read a lot of cases about pleadings, never saw one. I practiced at a national law firm for almost 2 decades, the last decade of which, or more than that, as a partner, and I had clients. My specialization, among some others, was products liability work, and particular clients would get sued for the same product in many different states. So I found myself going to many different jurisdictions to defend the client. Now, I would have to be admitted for that case only, pro hac vice, get local counsel most of the time. But what I discovered, somewhat to my surprise, was that handling a case in different jurisdictions is much more alike than different. And that stuck with me. And that's what came back to me when Mike and I had our conversation, and we were talking about how Carnegie is changing the way we ought to write case books so that we can teach more effectively. So I realized I could write a book that could teach procedure, how to handle a case in any jurisdiction. The book that I use puts the reader in the role of a young associate, helping the senior partner handle a case for a client. Sally's her name. Sally's been injured in an accident, and she has 3 defendants. This is the master problem that runs throughout the book, and on which all the written assignments that the students do is based. And so I think it benefits the students because they start to think of themselves more as lawyers than as students. There's a tendency for law students to stay in the mode of thinking of themselves as students, and I tell them, you're making a transition here. And most of my students are upper level students, and most of those are in their 3rd year, and I'm telling them, you're going to be practicing before you realize it. We're going to start now, and we're going to work together on a case, and we're going to do the things that I learned that effective lawyers do. And part of the process I teach them is the thought process and strategy that a good lawyer goes through in handling a case.